So I'm not saying that. I didn't ask for this, but it would never work otherwise, Marjorie. There's no way you'll ever make it better with a group of people who hate you.
Yeah, in my opinion, the quickest way to end that war is to just pull our US military
But
out
then he has to
and
say he
and
lost.
leave the region.
But then they'll say you lost.
Well, he hasn't really won, in my opinion.
But then the
I'm
but, you know,
I fully support our US military, but I don't think this has been I think this has just been like every other Middle Eastern war, it hasn't been successful. There is no regime change in Iran. The Iranian people have not been freed,
Mhm. So
and the
true.
Strait of Hormuz has been shut down
Yep.
because Iran shut it down.
Yep.
It wasn't any nothing happened there, that I would call great success. And, do I think that Trump controls Bibi Netanyahu? I actually don't believe that.
Mm.
I actually see it more the other way around, and, which is a problem.
That is if
That's
that's
a
true,
major
that's a
problem.
huge problem. Huge.
Yes,
Huge.
and if he can control Israel, if he I mean, what a ridiculous statement that Israel exists because of him. That's a ridiculous statement. But if he controls Israel, then Israel wouldn't be killing children nearly every single day in Gaza and Lebanon. Rapid 47 and another one of their accounts put out the president saying himself
You don't have to blow up
that,
an apartment building every time you're looking for someone who lives in it.
yep, that's right. So he knows it's happening, but he's
Mhm.
not stopping it. And a lot of Israel's military, everything they do, they coordinate with the United States. So that makes us complicit. And they're bombing apartment buildings and killing innocent children while they're telling us they're targeting terrorists. And I, I I can't agree with hardly any of it. And should we have, yes, there should be peace. But the biggest thing the Trump administration should do is just leave. Just leave and focus on domestic issues
But you can't
that
do it.
Americans care
If
about.
you do it, MAGA would be so pissed. If he just got up and left, you're allowing yourself to be criticized by the Democrats for this having been a waste of
Nah.
money and a waste of blood and a waste of this, and now the regime is bolder than ever. He has to make it a win. That's why they lie so much about this. That's why he has to say,
Well,
"We just had a great deal. We just signed a great deal, Marjorie."
when you say MAGA, there's a major break in what was MAGA.
You think
So,
so?
oh yeah, the only thing left of MAGA is neocons, people that like basically are spoon-fed propaganda on Fox News all day long, and baby boomers. That's pretty much the only thing left of MAGA. People like the America First Lane and a lot of MAHA has totally split off. So if Trump just said, "That's it, we don't want anything to do with the Middle East," and he pulled our military out, all of us would be thrilled. We wouldn't see it as a loss. We would see that as a victory for America and returning back to America First principles.
Mm.
For people like me, I don't want to have anything to do with foreign countries and wars, and I don't want them to have a single penny. I want all of those resources to be focused at home because this is where everyone I know lives. And so, um, I think, but is he going to pull? No, he's for himself and for his ego. He wants to declare victory and
Mm.
he wants to be the harbinger of peace, but he's not because he's the one that declared war.
Hmm. And when you look at the domestic agenda and healthcare, he said two things that I thought were awesome, and I wanted your insight into why you think they died the way they did. The first one was, he said one day, "These credit card rates, these interest rates, are way too high, man. I'm gonna call these banks and tell them I'm gonna cap them at 10%. The usury laws, we have laws. This is terrible. I'm going to the banks." 3 days later, he meets with Mike Johnson, and we never hear about it again. Then he says, "Hey, these healthcare I'm calling in the healthcare bigs, and when I call them, they'll come. And I'm gonna sit them all down, and we're gonna do it on camera, and I'm gonna say, 'You guys are making too much money, and you're too vertically integrated, and you're absorbing all the profit centers, and we're gonna make changes with you or without you, and they're gonna listen to me.'" I loved those 2 ideas.
Mhm.
Both of them died an early death. Why?
Mhm. Well, Mike Johnson is not a successful speaker. Oftentimes, he gives all these excuses as to why he can't get anything passed in the House. So that's one of the problems. But like when you talk about health insurance, this should be the issue there. That should be the war they're fighting. And Democrats passed the Affordable Health Care Act back in 2010, and I'll never forget what it did to our premium. Our family of five premium went from just a little over $800 a month to over $2,400 a month. It was more than our mortgage payment, completely unsustainable. So the changes and the damages done from the Affordable Health Care Act have been lasting, and now we have the Republicans who constantly campaign and running on fixing health insurance, never fix it. They just lie on the campaign trail constantly. And so it is in my opinion, this is in the top three because this is what I heard constantly from my constituents, both sides of the aisle, also across every income level. It was amazing to me. I would hear from people that were in the lower income levels who struggled horrifically when the tax credits expired. Many of them said, "I won't even be able to afford to have health insurance anymore." But I also heard from very wealthy people in my district, business owners, successful people who were furious about the fact that they were also paying like $2,000 a month for their health insurance premium. I don't know why he dropped the ball on that. I don't know why Republicans dropped the ball on it because whoever comes up with the magical solution that fixes this problem is going to be the most popular person in the country. And but yet they avoid it like the plague. We saw who it was you probably saw this, Chris. There was a video of a Republican congressman last week that the press on at the Capitol, they were asking him questions. They were asking him about health insurance, and he faked a phone call, like picked up his phone, and you could see the screen, and it was on Facebook of all stupid things, and he faked a phone call to avoid answering that question. So I don't know. It's just shocking to me.
What is your biggest point of pride in your time in Congress?
Um, One is standing on principle against the president of the United States and against the party that I supported. Um, that I'm very proud of that. I left with my soul intact, and that's something I'll always have with me.
And what do you wish had been different?
What do I wish that the president that I campaigned for had stuck with his campaign promises. I wish that I could have I wish that he would have been successful there. Make America great again